Day 2, Pitch 3.
Peloton turned cycling into a $1.5 billion business. Strava did the same thing for running. And one of the most successful startups to appear on our show is Fight Camp. They made a huge business out of a tech-enabled punching bag. On today's show, the Peloton for horses. Well, for equestrians, actually. But one of these sports is not like the others. To get started with horseback riding, you have to buy a horse, get a coach, and a stable. But running, on the other hand, is free. Just about anyone can go outside and run if they want to. So the equestrian market, it's way smaller. But it's full of passionate riders. Is passion enough to make horseback riding the next billion-dollar business? Will the VCs see their next shiny unicorn? Or will they just see a horse? I'm Josh Muccio. Welcome to The Pitch, where real entrepreneurs pitch real investors for real money.
Hey everyone, I'm Beck Bamberger, managing partner of Bad Ideas Group.
Hi, I'm Bsharah, the managing partner at Interlock Capital.
Hi, I'm Jillian, Manus, managing partner of Structure Capital.
I'm Howie Diamond, managing partner of Pure Ventures.
The pitch for Ride IQ is coming up after this. Giddy up.
Hello.
Hello.
Great to meet you. I'm Kinsey. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Kinsey. Al.
Jessa. Kinsey, nice to meet you.
There's Al.
Hi, Al. Jessa.
Hi.
Hey, Howie.
Howie.
Kinsey.
Pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Jessa. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Jessa.
Hi. You must be Jillian.
Jillian.
Hi, I'm Kinsey Lux. And I'm Jessa Lux. We're sisters, co-founders, recent Techstars grads, and former upper-level equestrians. Prior to Ride IQ, I was a senior investment associate at Blackstone.
And my background is in marketing and community building. My experience as a rider includes winning a gold medal at the Junior Olympics.
I was 13 when I moved from Minnesota to Florida alone so I could learn from an Olympic coach. I made that sacrifice, but I was still riding without a coach most of the time. 8 million equestrians ride without a coach for 4 out of 5 weekly rides. Those solo rides are astoundingly unproductive.
And that's why we built Ride IQ. Ride IQ is a mobile app with on-demand, listen while you train audio lessons taught by the world's best coaches. Open the app, choose a lesson, press play, and you have an Olympic coach in your ear guiding you for every step. We launched in August of 2021 and have organically grown to over 1,500 paying members and $430,000 in ARR.
8 million equestrians paying $30 a month for Ride IQ equates to a $3 billion TAM. And that's just with our launch product. The TAM is north of $20 billion when we expand across 3 other verticals. Ride IQ is bringing world-class coaching to every athlete, and we will drive a new era of athletic performance. We're kicking off a fundraise of $1.5 million and are looking for partners who share this vision.
Okay.
Great. Interesting.
Yeah, well,
So this is only audio, correct?
So this really gives them the guidance they need to make progress between in-person lessons, but it doesn't replace having your in-person lessons.
So can we talk more about the market size? I think you said like 8 million equestrians out there. Does that include like people that aren't really competitive? They don't care about the training. They just like riding. Like what does that number actually include?
That includes riders who ride consistently. So those are your riders who are riding 4 to 5 times per week. Mm-hmm. That said, it's not necessarily only your competitive riders. Your competition riders are definitely a big portion of that whole demographic, but there's a lot of riders who really just do it because they're passionate about it and they have their horse in their backyard or they just enjoy doing it, but they still want to develop with their horse.
Yeah. But that's 8 million in the US, 8
That's
million
global.
globally? Okay,
Yeah.
it's global. Okay.
And so of those, have you done the research to figure out like how many of them actually want training to go along with it?
Yeah, I mean, based off of the customers we talk to, the users in the market, I mean, everybody is looking to improve. We have a user who she's an 89-year-old woman who she loves to go trail riding with her friend, but she's a paying user of Ride IQ because when she's not trail riding with her friend, she wants to develop with her horse and she wants to learn something. Our users, they've coined themselves horse nerds, and there's always an opportunity to educate yourself. And for $30 a month, I mean, it's a really small subset of what they're already paying.
How long have you had your customers? And do you have anything on retention and
Yeah, we launched in August of 2021. Our 1 month retention is 84%, our 3 month retention is 67%, and our 12-month retention is 42%. And I'll note that normal consumer apps that are subscription based, the 12-month retention is 21% is the median. So we are double that.
I like that you've experienced the problem firsthand and you deeply understand, it seems like, the customer journey because you've been on it yourself. But just educate us a little bit on is there a general playbook for success or general best practices for each of these disciplines?
So the way that we think about our coaches is we have very strict criteria that we recruit coaches under. And our number one priority is that they have a history and a reputation of proper horsemanship. And we want to make sure that the information that they're putting out there is accurate and it puts the horse first. So it's very compassionate approach. And then 2 is, do they have a proven record of producing riders and then as themselves as a rider? A lot of our coaches are celebrities in their own right because they have that proven record. They have decades under their belt of being successful in these sports. I mean, there's a reason that the oldest Olympians every Summer Olympics are the equestrians because it really takes decades in order to become an expert. And that's why having access to the best coaches is just absolutely so valuable.
Where's the research or where's the conviction around audio learning?
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. I do Krav Maga and I do group classes, which are fine. That's great. That's fun. It's super social. But then I do one-on-one. And my instructor yesterday was just saying, oh, you're a visual learner. I show you exactly this. You do it exact. And it's also someone who's yelling at you one-on-one. You can't hide. So it's very impactful. So where do you think on the audio learning and how does that sit into this to someone who might say, no, I need a coach who's right next to me or with me on the horse? I don't even know how the coaching happens. So where does that sit?
Someone could adjust me in real.
The real value of audio for horseback riders is during the activity. So
Yes.
it meets you where you are when you need it most, which is when you're in the saddle.
Yeah.
And the way that we think about the effectiveness of audio is we hear from our members, they are never more focused than when they're listening to these lessons. You channel in, you're not thinking about that meeting that you had 30 minutes ago. You're not thinking about what you have to do after your ride. You are focused. And they're saying that they get their best rides out of their horses when they have audio lessons in their ear. And then the phase 2 of Ride IQ is having a video support for every audio lesson. So before you get on and take this audio lesson, watch this 2-minute video. You can see the coach doing it. It can make visual learners feel safe because that's what we want. It's obviously going to be a higher cost to roll that out, but we're at that stage of the business.
What did it cost you to get the recordings done, getting them put into the app? What did that cost?
Yeah, so it's $100 on average per lesson.
That's it? Wait, that sounds exceptionally cheap.
It is exceptionally cheap. And that is the natural response to that. We pay the coaches $100 per lesson that they record. It could be a 9-minute lesson or a 45-minute lesson. It doesn't matter to us. Our coaches record their lessons while they're on their own horse. Yeah. And we tested every way that a coach could approach these audio lessons. They could record from the ground watching somebody. They could record with a lesson plan in front of them, or they could record on the horse. And we tested that with our test riders ahead of time. Every person said they prefer it on the horse and they enjoy the experience. They feel like the coach is in their head while they're riding.
I get it.
They're on the back
And they
riding
tell
or
us things
something,
all the time. Like when the coach's horse blew air out of its nose and relaxed, my horse did that in the same moment. And those are such cool experiences, especially given that this is a solo sport. So it can be lonely. And when you have someone there with you and you're starting to feel like friends with these celebrities, it's a cool experience. But that's why we're able to pay $100 because it just makes it so that they can make $100 more than they otherwise would on that ride.
They record one lesson, that's $100, not how many times the lesson has been played back.
Correct.
No.
We're scrappy, you guys.
Just $100.
I'm
struggling with price as an indicator of quality and to get the best coaches. Are these the best coaches that are just asking for $100?
We have 1 Olympic gold medalist, several Olympic medalists, 6 Olympians. All of them have competed to the top of the sports. We're not making any sacrifice whatsoever in terms of quality. What you're saying is the nature of the equestrian market. Unfortunately, people who are top equestrian athletes, they're still kind of living paycheck to paycheck. It doesn't have a financial model that can support these people the way they should.
There's something really interesting with that because there are amazing coaches in every sport that aren't quote unquote famous, but they're professional at the highest level and they're only getting paid for the coaching they're doing one-on-one. And so there's something really interesting with that gap in the market, on the coaching market, that you can come in and incentivize them to work with you at a scale that they've never experienced, and for the world to be able to utilize their expertise.
How long is the focus on horses? Because I'm thinking in the $1 billion of like, oh, this is new audio learning. This is the next masterclass in audio. So for example, I fly helicopters. I'm like, oh, I could be listening to a flight thing like level to the. So I'm seeing it in multiple applications, but I'm asking, are you just horses?
I think that would be selling the business short. It's selling the vision short.
Yeah.
There's so much opportunity within equestrian. If we capture 5% of the equestrian market, that's $100 million in revenue. But we see there's so much value to expand this to other sports. Every time we talk to someone, they're like, wow, I'm a golfer. When can you do golfing? Or I'm a skier. When can you do skiing? And so we do see the value there. And we just want to make sure that we're doing it in a very methodical way where we don't risk underselling our equestrian endeavors.
What level of scale, engagement, revenue do you feel like you need to get to before you would want to expand?
For me, it's really a matter of having expanded to all the disciplines that we want to address within equestrian. Mm-hmm. We're already in the process of expanding to 2 more disciplines in the next couple of months. And then we are getting more requests for Western disciplines every day.
So how many disciplines are there total?
8. There's like 15 really.
Yeah. Did you say
There's
15?
English.
Oh yeah, 15.
English and Western disciplines are like kind of 2 different sides of a coin. And right now we are primarily focused on English disciplines. And so we're expanding within English, and then we are going to expand within Western. And I think once we get really well established in like kind of over the next year, once we feel like we're on that path, that's when we start to do the customer discovery in these other markets to understand where do we go next.
So curious on the raise, $1.5 million. How far along are you? Have you set terms?
We're really just starting the conversations with this pitch. So it's a good launching point, hopefully. And then we're targeting 10 million posts, ideally on a safe, but we're flexible on that front.
$1.5 million, at what point does it achieve what goals?
Yeah, so ideally in the next 12 months, we'd like to hit 2 million in ARR. And then in the next 3 years, we want to hit over 5 million.
And where are you in ARR now? Sorry.
430K.
I never thought I would say this, but I might be interested in investing in an equestrian company. So I'm relatively comfortable at 50K.
That'd be great. We'd love to have you on board.
There you go.
I love the scrappiness of you two. You guys clearly know the equestrian market really well, like in a deep, deep level, and the customer problem and everything that you're solving for that. I get concerned about expanding outside of that. Is it just going to be a natural, easy evolution into these other markets and speaking the lingo and knowing the customers with these other sports? And then just the revenue projections, a 3-year, 5 million ARR doesn't make me super excited either. I would really want to see you get to 2 to 3 million in ARR within the equestrian sector, and then 1 expansion out of the equestrian sector into another sports, and then I'm going to be in. But for right now, I'm out.
We'll keep your number.
I agree on that. I have the same concerns. To get to Howie's point, like where are those other ones that are as sticky and small as horse? Fly fishing, golfing.
So
but let's hear from that. I want to hear like where do you see that?
Some of the verticals that we're excited about would be things like boxing or gymnastics. I also don't want to rule out activities like photography or physical therapy. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunity for audio lessons. We don't have a lack of conviction in these other verticals, but we certainly have less testing that's been done.
Sure.
We feel a lot of conviction and product market fit in our current equestrian market. I would encourage you guys to look up reviews on social media or in the app store of Ride IQ. The word game changer is used over and over. They're glowing reviews. 7 of our members have Ride IQ's slogan tattooed on their body.
Wait, how many?
7.
Holy cow.
It's
permanent
not
tattoos.
Yes.
It's fanatical.
It's a passionate user base.
To use an analogy, like with the kind of like the horse blinders, I think you're too horse focused because, and that's why I'm a pass for now, I would want to hear, listen, audio learning is about to take off. Now, we have found this first market, which we know deeply about, so we're going to own that market. And then here are the next 5 ones so I can paint you the picture of how this is a multi-billion-dollar company. That's what I would want to see.
So I disagree with you and Howie.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Because you're missing the point here. The point is a very, very active, engaged entry point. You know this market cold. I don't want you to think about any other market right now, because if you do this well, you can take every strategy that you're going to learn from this and bring it to another fanatical market.
So are you in?
Yes, I am in.
Okay, there we go.
I want you to crush this. I'm in for $50K.
Are you good on those terms?
I'm a little uncomfortable with 10 post.
Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't
That's
totally comfortable
high.
with it.
Yeah.
Because that you're basically 10x over revenue right
Yeah.
now, and that's
not
is very high.
palatable to
And
me.
What valuation do you feel like is appropriate?
$6 million, I'll just tell you,
Yeah.
it's $6 million.
Yeah.
Jillian, we'd love to have you on the team. So, well, if it works for you guys, do we like go into diligence, have these conversations, and then take it from there?
Yeah.
Does
Yes.
that work?
That's how it
There's a
works.
contingency on Jillian's investment, though. You have to teach her how to ride a horse.
Easy.
Let's gallop here.
We love that.
Right
well,
on.
thank you guys so much for your time. This was a blast.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Great job.
Thank you. You guys are morons.
They'll take our money in a year and a half from now.
Maybe not.
They will,
because-
trust
well,
me.
maybe I won't let them.
Oh, okay. You're going to block them from taking our money?
Yeah.
All right, I'll block you in the next deal.
Okay,
All right,
fine.
fine.
Okay, well,
one of
that's
the
on
things that I
record.
was super excited about with these two is early 2000s, I was big into four-wheeling. I started a website called Jeepaholics. It was this ridiculous community. We had like millions of page views every month. I didn't know what the heck I was doing with the business, and I was a solo founder. I made all the mistakes. But I had this ridiculously passionate group of people, and they're on the inside. They have this thing. At this stage, it's very much about the team. And this investment is not a huge investment. It's an early stage investment. And
Get your foot in the door. And
and like this team just felt right in a lot of ways, and the position that they're in. So a lot of that stuff got me really fired up about what they're doing. So
I love a good fanatical market. Years ago, there was a book. It was knitting with dog hair.
Wait, what?
Okay.
What?
This is important
who does
story.
that? That's a thing?
And it was, and they came and they pitched this to me. And I thought, this is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. But they showed me the numbers on dog owners. And they showed me the numbers on knitters. And then they said, this is combined. Everyone wants to have a little piece of Fifi that they can wear. And it was
No,
crazy.
really?
Well, I passed. Okay. This has taken off. And it just showed me that if you have a fanatical market, you could sell them anything.
It's like Twitch is a great example of that
Yeah,
too.
that's true.
When people, if someone pitched me on a voyeur platform for people watching other people play video games, I'd be like,
No.
what?
No.
You're an idiot. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
So, what do you think you'll get the terms at?
6.
You think you'll get it down to 6?
I'm not going to do it if it's not 6.
Their margins are great. Their growth is not.
Yeah.
So like between 6 and 7 makes sense.
I think what's
Yes.
unique about this is it really is horse-led growth, which I think is the way
Wow.
to tackle this
you went
market.
there. That's
A lot
awesome.
of, talking a lot of
Jesus.
horse sense. I like their combined intellectual horsepower too.
Oh, God. All right, we're
You
done.
know what?
I mean,
We're done.
I feel like this conversation's a little bit of horse
We're good.
shit.
We're good. Bye. Okay, break time.
Oh, yeah.
Next.
Kinsey and Jessa trotted out of the studio with $100,000 in commitments from Al and Jillian, who were ready to take this Mustang for a ride. But there's a loose end left untied. The founders think their company is worth $10 million. The investors think it's worth $6 million. That's a bit of a gap. Kinsey and Jessa will try to close it. But terms end up being the least of their problems. Hear the rest of the story on episode 121 of the Pitch Podcast. Link in the description. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next week on The Pitch Show.